Podcast Talk. Learn English naturally.
Ambitious but lazy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast Hub. I'm John.
And I'm Daniela. And today, I have to say, we have one of the most relatable topics we've ever covered.
Today, we're talking about being ambitious but lazy. That very specific, very human contradiction of wanting big things for your life while also really not wanting to get off the sofa.
If you've ever got yourself watching a documentary about successful people at 2 in the morning while eating cereal and thinking, I could do that, this episode is for you.
And honestly, it's for most of us. Because this tension between what we want and what we actually do is one of the most discussed, most joked about, and most deeply felt experiences of modern life.
And today we're going to give you the vocabulary, expressions, grammar patterns, and phrases to talk about it, honestly, fluently, and with the kind of self-aware humor that native speakers use constantly around this topic.
Because here's the thing. In English, being able to describe your own flaws and contradictions with wit and honesty is actually a sign of fluency. It's charming. It builds connection.
Nobody trusts a person who only talks about their strengths, but someone who can laugh at themselves, describe their own procrastination with perfect vocabulary, and still express genuine ambition, that person is fascinating to talk to.
But before we start, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications, and comment below. So let's build that language today.
Let's start with the core question. What does being ambitious but lazy actually mean? Because both words deserve proper attention.
Let's start with ambitious. John, what does ambition really mean? Ambition is a strong desire to achieve something significant: success, recognition, wealth, mastery, impact. An ambitious person sets their sights high. They want more. They want to matter.
Key vocabulary around ambition: driven, motivated, goal-oriented, aspirational, hungry, determined, focused, visionary, high-achieving.
Let's unpack a few. Driven. This is one of the most powerful words for ambition. It suggests the ambition comes from inside, like an engine. Something pushes you forward even when things are hard.
Aspirational, having high aspirations, high dreams. More about the dreaming than the doing, perhaps. You can be aspirational without necessarily being driven.
Hungry, wanting success intensely, almost urgently. She's hungry for success. It has an edge to it, a rawness, a need.
Visionary, someone who can see a compelling picture of the future, often a compliment for leaders and innovators.
Now, lazy. This word gets a bad reputation, but it's actually quite nuanced.
Vocabulary for laziness: idle, inactive, lethargic, sluggish, indolent, bone idle, slothful, work-shy, disinclined.
Lethargic, heavy, slow, lacking energy. Often more physical than mental. Your body just doesn't want to move.
Indolent, a more elegant, slightly literary word for lazy, avoiding effort with a kind of comfortable ease. He lived an indolent life. It sounds almost sophisticated.
Bone idle, a fantastic British expression. Lazy to the core, completely, utterly disinclined to work. He's absolutely bone idle. Strong, vivid, slightly humorous.
Slothful, from the sloth, the animal, moving at the pace of a creature that sleeps 18 hours a day. Very lazy.
Work-shy, specifically avoids work. Not necessarily lazy in all areas, just deeply resistant to anything that feels like labor.
Now, the beautiful, specific vocabulary for the space where ambition and laziness collide. This is where English gets really interesting.
Let's start with procrastination, because this is the heartbeat of the ambitious but lazy experience.
Procrastination, delaying or postponing tasks, especially ones you know you should be doing. The act of doing something else when you should be doing the important thing.
To procrastinate, the verb. I've been procrastinating all week. I always procrastinate when faced with something difficult.
Related vocabulary: put off, delay, defer, postpone, drag your feet, stall, dawdle, dither, play for time.
Drag your feet, to do something slowly and reluctantly. He's been dragging his feet on that project for months.
Dither, to be indecisive, to waste time through hesitation and uncertainty. Stop dithering and just start.
Play for time, to delay doing something, often hoping the situation will change or the deadline will disappear.
Now, vocabulary for motivation and the lack of it. Because for an ambitious but lazy person, motivation is the most complicated thing in the world.
Having motivation, inspired, energized, fired up, in the zone, on a roll, pumped up, raring to go, chopping at the bit.
In the zone, that state of deep focus and flow where everything works and time disappears. The ambitious but lazy person's holy grail. Rare, precious, wonderful when it arrives.
Raring to go, extremely eager and ready to begin. The opposite of your usual Monday morning feeling.
Chomping at the bit, impatient and eager to get started. From horse racing, a horse that can't wait to run. She was absolutely chomping at the bit to start the new project.
Lacking motivation, uninspired, flat, in a slump, going through the motions, can't be bothered, half-hearted, unenthusiastic, apathetic.
Can't be bothered. Perhaps the most honest phrase in the English language. Pure, unfiltered, no excuse laziness. I know I should go to the gym, but I just can't be bothered.
Half-hearted, doing something without real commitment or energy. You're there physically, but not really. He made a half-hearted attempt to start the report.
In a slump, a period of low productivity, low motivation, low energy. Not permanent, a slump by definition will end, but while you're in it, it feels endless.
Apathetic, showing or feeling no interest or enthusiasm. Stronger than unenthusiastic, almost a complete absence of feeling.
Now, let's talk about the specific behaviors of the ambitious but lazy person, because these behaviors have wonderful, precise vocabulary in English.
Behavior 1. Overthinking instead of doing.
Paralysis by analysis, thinking so much about something that you become unable to act. Planning in infinite detail while doing precisely nothing.
Overthinking, examining every possible angle, outcome, and risk until the original idea is buried under a mountain of mental activity.
Spinning your wheels, putting in mental effort that goes nowhere. Lots of thinking, zero forward movement.
Behavior 2. Planning instead of executing.
Making plans without follow-through. All talk, no action. Big ideas, small output. These are phrases you'll hear and feel deeply.
Follow through. Actually completing something after starting it. The word itself implies the full arc of effort. Ambitious but lazy people often have excellent beginnings and terrible follow-through.
Half-baked, not fully thought through or executed. A half-baked plan. Started but left undone, like bread taken out of the oven too early.
Behavior 3. Productive procrastination. Doing other tasks to avoid the main one.
This is a very specific and very relatable phenomenon. You clean your entire apartment instead of starting your essay. You reorganize your desk instead of making that phone call.
Displacement activity. Doing a less important task to avoid a more important one. I was supposed to be writing, but I spent 3 hours reorganizing my bookshelf. Classic displacement activity.
Busy work. Tasks that keep you occupied but don't actually move you forward towards important goals. The illusion of productivity.
Productive procrastination. Procrastinating on the big thing by doing small, useful things. You're technically being productive, just not on what actually matters.
Behavior 4. The cycle of guilt and avoidance.
This is perhaps the most painful part of being ambitious but lazy. You feel guilty for not doing the work. The guilt makes you feel anxious. The anxiety makes you avoid the work. The avoidance increases the guilt, and round it goes.
Vocabulary for this cycle. Guilt-ridden, self-critical, avoidance, spiral, overwhelmed, stuck, paralyzed.
Guilt-ridden, consumed by guilt. An ambitious but lazy person is often guilt-ridden, not because they're bad, but because the gap between their vision and their output is so visible to them.
Behavior 5. The grand restart.
I'll start fresh on Monday. New year, new me. Once I finish this series, I'll get my life together.
The perpetual fresh start. Always just around the corner. I'm going to overhaul everything. This is going to be my year.
Vocabulary for this: fresh start, turning over a new leaf, overhauling, reinventing yourself, starting from scratch, wiping the slate clean.
Turn over a new leaf. To change your behavior and start doing things differently. I've decided to turn over a new leaf and actually follow through on my goals.
Wipe the slate clean. To start over, as if the past didn't happen. Give yourself a clean beginning.
These expressions are beautiful and genuine, but for an ambitious but lazy person, they can become a form of procrastination in themselves. The planning of the fresh start replaces the fresh start.
Now let's talk about grammar patterns for discussing this experience, because this topic comes up in real conversations constantly.
Pattern 1. I have all these plans to, but I never actually. The classic ambitious but lazy sentence.
I have all these plans to launch a business, but I never actually sit down and do the work. I have all these ideas for creative projects, but I never actually finish any of them.
The structure, I have all these, but I never actually, captures the gap perfectly. The ambition is real, the action is absent.
Pattern 2. I know I should, but I just can't seem to...
I know I should be further along by now, but I just can't seem to get started. I know I should work on it daily, but I just can't seem to build the habit.
Can't seem to implies genuine effort, genuine desire, but something is blocking the translation from want to do.
Pattern 3. The worst part is I know exactly what I need to do.
The worst part is I know exactly what I need to do. I just don't do it. This is the defining sentence of ambitious but lazy existence. The clarity is there. The action is not.
Pattern 4. I'm the kind of person who, for self-description.
I'm the kind of person who has 100 ideas and follows through on maybe 2 of them. I'm the kind of person who works brilliantly under pressure, mainly because I've left everything until the pressure is unbearable.
Pattern 5. I work best when, describing your actual conditions for productivity.
I work best when there's a real deadline. I work best in short bursts. I work best when I'm slightly panicked.
That last one, when I'm slightly panicked, is deeply relatable and very honest.
Pattern 6. Part of me really wants to, but another part of me just...
Part of me really wants to build something meaningful, but another part of me just wants to watch television and not think about it. Inner conflict perfectly expressed.
Now let's talk about how to discuss this topic in conversation, because this comes up constantly, especially in casual settings.
Self-deprecating humor around this topic is incredibly common in English, especially British English. Being able to joke about your own laziness while showing genuine ambition underneath is a real social skill.
Opening lines for this topic in conversation.
I have this terrible habit of having big plans and then doing absolutely nothing about them. I'm basically a professional dreamer with a severe execution problem.
My ideas are excellent. My follow-through is catastrophic. I'm very ambitious in theory.
I have the vision of an entrepreneur and the work ethic of someone on a very long holiday.
These are funny, but also true. And that honesty, delivered with lightness, creates instant connection.
Responding to others who share this experience.
Oh, that's so me. Story of my life, honestly. I feel that on a deeply personal level. You just described me perfectly. I thought I was the only one.
These responses validate and create solidarity. They say, I understand. You're not alone. This is a shared human experience.
Now let's talk about the language of trying to overcome this pattern, because ambitious but lazy people are always trying, and that trying has its own vocabulary.
Starting strategies. I'm trying to just start, even badly. I've been using the 2-minute rule. I'm breaking it down into smaller steps. I'm trying to build the habit before I worry about the outcome.
Just start, even badly? For ambitious but lazy people, perfectionism is often the problem. The vision is so grand that anything imperfect feels not worth starting.
Accountability language. I've told a friend, so I can't back out now. I've set myself a deadline. I'm working with an accountability partner. I've put it in my calendar and blocked the time.
Accountability partner, someone who checks in on your progress and holds you to your commitments, very common in productivity culture.
Celebrating small wins. I actually did it. I finally started. Small progress, but progress.
Small progress, but progress. Not overpromising, not catastrophizing, just acknowledging that something moved.
Now, let's do our demonstration. John, describe the ambitious but lazy experience in the most basic English possible.
I want to do a lot of things, but I don't do them. I know what to do, but I don't do it. It's bad. I feel lazy.
Now, the upgrade. I have genuinely ambitious goals, things I think about constantly, plans that feel real and important to me. But there's this enormous gap between my vision and my daily behavior that I find really hard to close. I know exactly what I need to do. I could write you a detailed action plan right now. The problem is sitting down and actually doing it. I procrastinate endlessly, get caught in cycles of guilt and avoidance, and then when I finally do work, I'm capable of far more than my daily output suggests. I think the hardest thing is that I can see exactly who I could be, and the distance between that version of me and where I currently am is both motivating and completely paralyzing.
Wow, that is so honest and so well expressed.
Let's break it down. Enormous gap between vision and behavior, cycles of guilt and avoidance, capable of far more than my daily output suggests, the distance between that version of me and where I currently am.
These phrases are not just good vocabulary, they're genuine psychological insight expressed in beautiful English.
And that's what the ambitious but lazy person often has in abundance, insight. They understand themselves extremely well. They just don't always act on that understanding.
Now let's talk about some famous expressions in Proverbs that capture this experience.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Having good intentions is not the same as acting on them. A sobering proverb every ambitious but lazy person has heard and ignored at least once.
I work well under pressure. The ambitious but lazy person's most honest job interview answer. Translation, I only work when the deadline is tomorrow and failure is imminent.
Work smarter, not harder. Genuinely useful productivity advice, but frequently repurposed to justify avoiding work entirely.
I'll start fresh on Monday. The eternal delay. Monday becomes the permanent home of all future ambition.
I have to be in the right mood. Said about everything, every time, by every ambitious but lazy person who ever lived.
And one more. Done is better than perfect. A phrase ambitious but lazy people know intellectually, believe sincerely, and find nearly impossible to apply.
Now, let's build the action plan.
Day 1. Write a self-description in English using today's vocabulary. Be honest. Use, I'm the kind of person who, I have all these plans too, but the worst part is I know exactly. Write at least a paragraph.
Day 2, learn the procrastination vocabulary. All of it. Drag your feet, dither, displacement activity, busy work, paralysis by analysis. Use each in a sentence about your own experience.
Day 3. Practice the self-deprecating humor expressions. I'm very ambitious in theory. My ideas are excellent. My follow-through is catastrophic. Say them out loud. Learn to own them with lightness.
Day 4, learn and use the accountability and strategy vocabulary. I'm trying to just start, even badly. I've set myself a deadline. Small progress, but progress. These phrases help you talk about trying, which is itself important.
Day 5. Have a real conversation about this topic with a friend, a language partner, or in a voice memo to yourself. Use at least 10 expressions from today's episode.
Ongoing, pay attention to how this topic comes up in English podcasts, interviews, social media, and conversations. It's everywhere. Collect the phrases you hear. They will be good ones.
Let's close with our key takeaways.
Key point 1. Ambition and laziness are not opposites. They coexist in millions of people, and having the vocabulary to describe this makes you both more fluent and more self-aware.
Key point 2. English has extraordinarily rich vocabulary for this experience: procrastination, displacement activity, paralysis by analysis, busy work, follow-through.
Key point 3. Grammar patterns carry the emotional truth. I have all these plans to, but I never actually. The worst part is I know exactly what I need to do. Learn these structures by heart.
Key point 4. Self-deprecating humor around this topic is charming and connecting in English. Describe your flaws with wit, and people will love you for it.
Key point 5. The guilt avoidance cycle is real and has a name. Naming it helps you see it and maybe eventually step out of it.
Key point 6. The language of small progress matters. Small progress, but progress. I'm trying to just start, even badly. These are not failures. They are honest, brave sentences.
And key point 7, being able to describe this contradiction fluently in English is itself a real achievement. Own it.
Thank you so much for joining us on English Podcast Hub today. If you listened to this whole episode while thinking about everything else you should be doing, we see you. We are you.
Subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with every brilliant, aspirational, chronically procrastinating person you know.
And go do the thing. Whatever the thing is, just start, even badly.
Until next time, dream big, start small, keep going.
Take care, everyone.